My Aunt Bözsi first worked as a greeter in Auschwitz. She met the incoming transports, and her job was to keep the new inmates calm and lend an air of normalcy. Because she was doing that, she got to keep her hair and wore normal looking clothes. Next, she worked in Canada. That was the part of Auschwitz where the women sorted through the clothes and luggage looking for valuables and putting aside any food or jewelry or coins from those who had been murdered. While she was working there, someone found her wedding photo in a man's winter coat and recognized her. That's how she learned that her father had been murdered. Brzee was then transferred to the part of the camp where munitions were manufactured. She was supposed to check that parts of the revolver worked smoothly, but she didn't do that. That was her very small way of helping to sabotage the works. There were four other young women who worked in the munitions part who were more successful saboteurs. They smuggled small quantities of gunpowder from the factory to workers in the camp's resistance movement. They did this by hiding the gunpowder in scraps of fabric or paper that they stole from Canada. The explosives were passed on to the prisoners who worked in the crematoria, who were called the Sonderkommando. They spread the gunpowder around the perimeter of their sleeping area and on the second story above the crematoria, where they slept just above the crematoria. The Sonderkommando revolted on October 7th, 1944, and they had attacked their SS guards and set fire to the crematorium. Seeing the flames, the Sonderkommando and Crematoria II also joined, and the force of the blast after they lit this gunpowder blew up the adjacent gas chamber too. Hundreds of prisoners from Birkenau who participated in that insurrection were executed that day. But it took a while to catch the four women who had smuggled the gunpowder. They were arrested after some time and tortured, but it was not until January 6, 1945, when these saboteurs were hanged. All of the camp women were lined up as they were for the twice-daily roll calls, called the Appel. They had to do that for hours twice a day, standing still, and on this occasion, Brzee was horrified as they were forced to watch until the bodies that were hung stopped moving from the wind before they were allowed to return to their barracks. They stood outside in the cold for hours. That scene was one of her most vivid and disturbing memories, and became one of mine too after I watched her testimony and read about it in the history books.